I already mentioned, holding the line is the next aspect to consider. This is just an introduction, as we will get into more detail in the following seminars. Question: when do we hold the line? In this specific game situation, it makes sense to hold the line. As we can see, pressure is applied on the player in possession. Here is the player in possession who is closed down. In my opinion, there's no need to drop for the flat back four. The ball is also relatively close to the foot of the player. This is another indicator that a 40-meter ball can't be played easily. The player would have to set himself up with an extra touch first. A set-up touch would be an indicator for a long ball. Another aspect, the defending team is well organized behind the ball. I think the organization allows for holding the line here. If the flat back four was to drop here, a larger distance would be created again between midfield and the flat back four. If the flat back four was positioned here, this high, a big space would be created here where forwards would be able to turn when receiving the ball. This would almost eliminate the option of doubling up, which is one of the key elements of pressing. I just said that dropping would not be recommended here. The distance to midfield would be too far, and too much space would be created that could be used by opponents. Another problem that is observed quite often is the fact that the flat back four drops in many cases, which sometimes makes perfect sense. Not necessarily here though, as the flat back four does not recover immediately after dropping, which leads to huge gaps. Opponents are able to exploit the space, which makes it harder to defend. The following animation shows a common error. The flat back four drops. That's exactly the previous scenario. The attacker is able to turn, and the red arrows indicate that we might get a problem here if the forwards are demanding the ball in there. Difficult situations that could be avoided by having the flat back four drop quick enough. We don't have to show that again. This is straightforward. Let's